Good morning, and thank you for being here today. Success doesn't come by accident. It's the result of deliberate habits repeated daily. If you want to attract money, success, and abundance, it begins with how you start your day. The first hour sets the tone for the rest. Winners know this. High performers live by this dot. The way you start your morning sets the trajectory for your entire day. It's not just about waking up early, it's about waking up with intention. When you take control of your morning, you send a clear signal to your mind, your body, and even the world around you. I am in charge. High performers don't leave their mornings to chance. They understand that each day is an opportunity to make progress toward wealth, health, and success. And that opportunity begins the moment they open their eyes. The early morning hours are a psychological advantage. When the world is still quiet, your mind is fresh, your willpower is high, and distractions are minimal. This time is a gift, undisturbed, uninterrupted space to think, plan, and act. Successful people guard this time fiercely because they know it gives them leverage. While others are still sleeping or scrolling, achievers are mapping out their goals, feeding their minds, or getting their bodies in motion. They've already built momentum before the rest of the world catches up. Waking up with purpose is about more than time. It's about state. If you wake up rushed, scattered, or reactive, you carry that energy with you all day long. On the other hand, when you start your day with calm, clarity, and control, you create a mindset that attracts focus and productivity. A successful day begins with a successful state of mind, and that begins the moment your feet hit the floor. Your morning mindset becomes your daily mindset. Think of the morning as your daily reset button. It's your chance to realign with your bigger vision, your long-term goals, and your most important values. Too many people wake up and immediately fall into the demands of others, emails, messages, noise. But when you carve out even 30 to 60 minutes for yourself, you gain clarity, energy, and confidence. You remind yourself that you are the architect of your life, not just a responder to circumstances. Many of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, leaders, and creatives swear by their morning rituals. Not because they're magical, but because they're intentional. Whether it's writing down goals, journaling, exercising, meditating, or simply sitting in silence, these habits aren't random. They're designed to sharpen focus, build discipline, and align actions with long-term vision. These habits don't just prepare you for the day, they prepare you for success. If you want to change your life, change how you begin your day. Your morning isn't a routine, it's a foundation. Every great building needs a strong base, and when you build your day on focus, gratitude, and action, everything you want, money, opportunity, success, starts to find its way to you. Not by accident, but because you created space for it to arrive. Gratitude is the emotional foundation of success. When you start your day in a state of appreciation, you shift your mindset from lack to abundance. Too many people wake up already focused on what they don't have, what went wrong yesterday, or what could go wrong today. That kind of thinking limits your ability to see and seize opportunity. But when you take a moment to consciously feel grateful for your health, your home, your mind, your progress, you create a mental environment that's open, confident, and receptive. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good exercise. It's a high-performance habit. It improves your emotional state, reduces stress, and even enhances decision-making. Why? Because when you're in a grateful state, you're not reactive, you're not anxious, you're grounded, you're focused. That shift in energy influences how you speak, how you carry yourself, and how others respond to you. People are drawn to calm, focused energy, especially in a world filled with noise and negativity. Gratitude is your internal advantage. Right after you ground yourself in gratitude, the next critical step is aligning your actions with your goals. The most successful people in the world don't just think about their goals occasionally, they revisit them daily. Writing down your top goals every morning forces your brain to focus. It tells your subconscious, this is what we're working on, this is what matters. Over time, that repetition conditions your thinking and sharpens your ability to make decisions that support your bigger vision. This daily habit of goal setting doesn't need to take long. In fact, the more concise and specific, the better. Write your top 3-5 goals, not vague wishes, but clear, measurable targets. The act of writing reinforces clarity. It also brings your long-term vision into the present. You stop drifting through the day and start directing it. This alignment between what you value and how you behave is what creates confidence. And confidence builds momentum. There's a powerful synergy between gratitude and goal setting. Gratitude grounds you in the present. Goals pull you toward the future. One keeps you centered, the other keeps you moving forward. When you practice both, you eliminate the gap between who you are and who you want to become. That alignment creates internal congruence, and congruent people are more focused, more persuasive, and more productive. They know where they're going, and they're thankful for the process. Most people are pulled in 100 directions before they even leave the house. But when you start your day by expressing what you're thankful for and locking in on what you're chasing, you take back control. You stop reacting and start leading. And leadership always starts with the self. The truth is, success isn't just about achieving more, it's about becoming the person who naturally attracts more. Gratitude and goals shape that person, one morning at a time. Before success ever becomes reality, it must first exist in your mind. Visualization is not daydreaming. It's strategic mental training. Olympic athletes, world-class performers, and top entrepreneurs all use this technique to create mental clarity, reduce fear, and build emotional certainty. Each morning, taking just a few minutes to see yourself living the life you're building, closing the deal, hitting the income goal, leading the team, speaking on stage, activates the belief system necessary to bring those visions to life. The mind can't distinguish between something vividly imagined and something real. When you visualize with emotion and detail, your brain begins forming neural pathways that mirror actual experience. This creates a sense of familiarity with success. So when you walk into a real situation that matches your vision, you don't hesitate. You've already been there mentally. You act with more confidence and clarity because it doesn't feel new, it feels natural. That's the power of mental rehearsal. But visualization alone isn't enough. You have to speak it into existence. That's where affirmations come in. Affirmations are short, positive, present tense statements that reinforce your identity and your intention. When you say, I am focused, I attract opportunities, or I am building wealth every day, you're not just reciting words, you're reshaping your self-image. And your self-image is the ceiling of your success. You will never outperform your beliefs about who you are. Every morning, your brain is in a theta state, more receptive, more programmable. This is the ideal time to use affirmations. You're literally rewiring your thinking at a foundational level. The repetition creates imprint, and repetition over time becomes reality. The most successful people speak to themselves with authority, positivity, and clarity. They don't leave their inner dialogue to chance. They take control of it every single day. What you visualize and affirm becomes the filter through which you experience the world. If you affirm strength, you notice opportunities to be strong. If you visualize success, you begin acting in ways that align with success. This alignment between belief and behavior is critical. Most people wait to believe after the results show up. High performers believe first, and the results follow, because they've already seen it, spoken it, and felt it internally. Your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions drive your actions, and your actions determine your outcomes. So when you begin your day by intentionally shaping your thoughts through visualization and affirmations, you take full command of your emotional and behavioral state. You stop hoping for success and start preparing for it, because success is never just about what you do, it's about what you believe while you do it. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through every opportunity, challenge, and decision. If it's sluggish, slow, or weak, your performance suffers mentally and physically. That's why one of the most powerful ways to begin your morning is by activating your body through intentional movement. Whether it's a full workout, a brisk walk, stretching, yoga, or 20 minutes of bodyweight exercises, movement triggers energy, and energy is the currency of success. When you move your body, you change your state. Your physiology affects your psychology. A tired, hunched posture creates a tired, hesitant mind. But when you stand tall, move with purpose, and elevate your heart rate, your brain releases endorphins, dopamine, and other chemicals that wake you up and sharpen your focus. It's not just about building muscle, it's about building momentum. And that momentum carries into your decisions, your communication, and your level of action all day long. Morning exercise also builds discipline. Success doesn't always come down to talent. It often comes down to habits. And when you prove to yourself every morning that you can keep a promise to your body, you're training the muscle of consistency. That consistency spills into other areas. How you handle money, how you manage your time, how you pursue your goals. The small act of working out, even for a short session, sends a powerful message. I show up for myself. Another key benefit of morning exercise is clarity. When your blood is flowing and your body is in motion, your mind clears, ideas flow more easily. Decisions become simpler. Stress starts to dissolve. Many high achievers report getting their best ideas not in meetings, but during workouts. That's not a coincidence. When the body is activated, the brain becomes more resourceful, and success often depends on your ability to think clearly and act quickly. You also boost your confidence when you train your body. Confidence isn't just mental, it's physical. When you look better, feel stronger, and move with more control, it shifts how you carry yourself in business and life. You make bolder choices. You speak with more certainty. You take more calculated risks, and that all adds up to greater financial and professional results. It's not about vanity, it's about vitality. Your physical presence can either support or sabotage your mission. So when you prioritize movement each morning, you're not just exercising, you're investing. You're investing in your energy, your resilience, your discipline, and your leadership. Because no matter how sharp your strategy is, if your body can't keep up, your vision will stall. Movement isn't optional for high performance. It's essential. And by making it part of your morning, you create a rhythm of power that echoes through everything else you do. Your mind is your greatest asset. What you pour into it each morning determines the quality of your thoughts, your attitude, and ultimately your results. Just like your body needs fuel to perform, Your mind needs nourishment to stay sharp, creative, and focused. When you make the decision to feed your mind with positive, empowering, and growth-oriented content first thing in the morning, you set yourself apart from the masses who start their day in mental autopilot, consuming noise, negativity, and distraction. What you read, watch, or listen to in those first few moments after waking up acts like mental programming. If you start your day with gossip, outrage, or mindless scrolling, you train your brain to operate in a reactive, scattered state. But if you open a book that challenges your thinking, listen to an audiobook that expands your knowledge, or review notes from a great mentor, you prime your mind to focus on solutions, strategy, and success. Your input becomes your internal language, and your internal language determines how you handle your day. The most successful individuals are voracious learners. They understand that personal growth fuels professional growth. Just 10 to 20 minutes of high-quality input every morning can shift your mindset and expand your vision. Whether it's a chapter from a biography, a lesson from a business book, or a short podcast that teaches a principle, you don't need hours, you just need consistency. Small doses of wisdom, repeated daily, compound over time into powerful insight. Morning is also the best time to install new beliefs. Your brain is in a more relaxed and receptive state, making it easier to absorb and retain new ideas. That's why morning reading or listening is more than just education. It's transformation. You begin to replace old, limiting thoughts with fresh perspectives. You develop a sharper filter for what deserves your attention. And you cultivate a mindset that is naturally oriented toward progress, opportunity, and value creation. Feeding your mind is also about protecting your focus. The world is constantly trying to hijack your attention through headlines, opinions, and algorithms. But when you start your day by deliberately choosing your mental input, you reinforce the message, I direct my mind, I choose my focus. This kind of mental leadership is rare and valuable. People who master their attention become unstoppable. They are calmer under pressure, clearer in their decisions, and faster in their growth. Think of it this way. If your mind is the engine, your morning inputs are the fuel. Dirty fuel leads to breakdowns. Clean, high-octane fuel leads to performance. Every book, podcast, video, or note you consume is either pulling you closer to your goals or pushing you further away. When you make feeding your mind a daily, non-negotiable habit, you don't just learn more, you become more. And in the pursuit of money and success, who you become matters more than what you do. One of the biggest obstacles to success isn't a lack of time, it's a lack of clarity. When you start your day unclear about what matters most, you waste energy in indecision, distraction, and busy work. But when you begin your morning with a few minutes of focused planning, everything changes. You go from reacting to creating, from drifting to driving. Clarity isn't just a nice to have, it's a productivity multiplier. It ensures your actions align with your vision. Most people spend their day doing what feels urgent instead of what's actually important. But when you take control of your schedule first thing in the morning, you set the tone for deliberate action. It's not about creating a long to-do list, it's about identifying the few key moves that make the biggest impact. If you wake up and immediately identify your top 3 priorities, those needle-moving tasks, you dramatically increase the odds of progress, not just activity. Clarity eliminates overwhelm. The human brain thrives on structure. When your mind knows what to focus on, it can direct all its energy toward execution. Without clarity, even small tasks feel heavy. With clarity, even big tasks feel manageable. By planning your day with intention before the noise, emails, and demands begin, you shield yourself from distraction. You work proactively, not reactively. And that one shift can transform your daily output. High achievers don't rely on willpower alone. They build systems that support success. One of the most effective systems is the habit of morning planning. Some use journals, others use apps or whiteboards. It doesn't matter how, as long as you do it. Block time for what matters. Set boundaries for what doesn't. Decide in advance what winning the day looks like. When your day has structure, your mind has freedom. You stop second-guessing and start executing. Clarity also increases confidence. When you know what you're working on and why, you move with certainty. You're less likely to get thrown off by other people's priorities, distractions, or unexpected changes. You have a roadmap, and when you stay loyal to that roadmap, you build trust in yourself. That self-trust becomes the foundation for long-term consistency. You're no longer hoping to get things done, you expect yourself to follow through. Ultimately, clarity turns your time into results. It helps you focus your effort where it counts. You're not just busy, you're effective. You're not just showing up, you're moving forward. And when you consistently start each day with a clear plan and clear purpose, you start stacking productive days. And productive days, repeated over time, create powerful results. Success isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters with focus, precision, and intention. The truth is, success doesn't start when you close the deal, get the promotion, or see the money hit your account. Success starts the moment you open your eyes. It's in the quiet choices you make before the world starts calling for your attention. It's in how you speak to yourself, how you prepare your body, how you shape your mind, and how you command your focus. These 9 morning habits aren't just routines, they're rituals of transformation. They're how you train yourself to think like a leader, act like a champion, and live like someone who expects to win. Start with one. Build on it. Master your mornings and the rest of your life will follow. Because when you take control of your morning, you take control of your day. And when you take control of your day, you take control of your destiny. Now go out there and lead it.